Hello friends, my name is Katie from Eternal Flame, and today I thought I'd share with you a very relaxed chat, plan with me, talk through, flip through of my planner system for 2024. It's been just about 3 months now since the year started, and as I mentioned in my previous video, I've hit quite a rut. So if you're feeling that as well, it's a really great time to, I think, reflect on what's working, what's not, and how we would like, or for me at least, how I would like to go moving forward into the year. So if you're interested in that, please stick around. Thanks everyone. Before we get right into this video, I of course wanted to take this quick moment to thank y'all so very much for taking the time to join me today. As always, if you enjoy this video, I would appreciate if you let me know by giving a thumbs up and making sure you're subscribed. It really helps my channel to grow and lets me know what type of content you enjoy seeing. So as I mentioned, I've been in a planner rut. Part of it is because my husband and I are in the process of settling into new jobs as well as growing our brand new farm. If you've been following my channel, thank you so much. But you know that I have recently transitioned from being a graduate student in New York City, born and raised, to living life on a farm. We welcomed our very first animals that weren't cats and dogs just a few weeks ago onto our farm, which was 2 chicks that we were gifted from a friend, and then now 2 miniature donkeys, which I have journaled a ton about since they arrived on Palm Sunday, March 24th. So we'll do a quick flip through of that. We will also do a quick flip through of my weeks and talk a little bit about how I'm using these other planners here. So when I started in 2024, I had a ton of planners. I can grab a few here just so you can see what I have like on hand. I have my Hobonichi Weeks Mega for work that, to be honest, I have not touched, and it's quite sad. I've also had this Hobonichi Cousin, the A5, that I also have not really used, as you can see here. What I've ended up using this for is actually to design a lot of the little projects around the farm. So if you can see here, I use the grid paper to allow me to sketch out, for example, a design for a firewood shelter for my husband. It was supposed to be our first project that we worked on together, but because we were like, oh, also the little hog house tiny home design that I have here sketched out a few times, but then a friend of ours gifted us 2 chicks, and it fast-tracked quickly into our first project, was building their coop, which we're still working on and run. So that's what happened to those planners. They have not really been used to their max, which is fine. I think I need to reflect on that and make sure that I remind myself in 2025 not to buy so many planners. I apologize if you hear some background noise. That's actually my heater that just turned on. Okay, so with that said, the reason I am not using my Hobonichi Weeks Mega for work this year is because towards the end of 23, I ran out of the notes section in my Hobonichi Weeks Mega Sneaker for work and transitioned into this A5 size moleskin bullet journal with a dot grid that I picked up on Amazon. So a note to self, I will try to link that in the description box down below if you're interested. I love these journals. So when I first, in the beginning of COVID, I actually started in an Archer and Olive bullet journal that my dear friend Carly gifted to me, and I filled it up so much with photos and stickers and all the things. I do have a video of that, so definitely check that out if you're interested. It was kind of fun and heartfelt, very personal. But anyways, like I had no intention of sharing it on the internet, so apologize for that. But anyways, what I wanted to show you is how I've simplified my work planner. The only con to this setup is that I don't, so in 23 I would set up my Outlook calendar at the beginning of each week, so I knew what meetings to make. I will say, since getting rid of that part of my routine, I actually have missed and forgotten about meetings. So that was my greatest fear, and part of the reason why I would handwrite my Outlook calendar every, for example, Monday, was so that I wouldn't forget. But then things just keep shifting, and having to pivot and then scratch things out was not working for me. So if you guys have any suggestions, definitely let me know. I got this automatic self-stamping date stamp, I guess, from Amazon. I'll try to link it down below. I would say get an updated one, because obviously this says like 2022 and onward, so you don't want to probably waste money on one with like 2 years already passed. So basically what I do is I just go ahead and try to line this up and stamp the date. I also use my Midori stamp here that you can get on Amazon. This is actually one that is available. I'll switch it to Wednesday, and it's always Monday through Friday, because those are the days that I work. And I just go ahead and do that. I love pairing this with my Klenna, Energel Klenna in the 0.38, my Hobonichi Basic, and my 0.5 and 0.4 Sarasa Mark-On, all available on Amazon. That's where I got all of it, actually. And I just go ahead, line this up with the dots, draw a bold line, horizontal line here, to mark the day. The next thing I like to do is to take this other stamp that I haven't been able to find on Amazon, but you can check out Jet Pens to see if it's available. Sometimes Amazon does have things come in stock over time, so just keep checking. I've been checking because this is one of my favorite stamps. I switched it to, so these stamps, they have all of these different options, so I just switched it to to-do list. So I'll go here and do that. So this will be my priority tasks for the day. And then if I have, say, for example, I'm gonna do it in pencils, right? Because it's gonna bother me, I think, if I go ahead and write it in pen. I say staff meeting, and then I can erase this later. I just write staff meeting, and then I'll go ahead and write a nice bold line here. Can you all see this? Yes, nice bold line across, connecting the dots. I should have left myself a little bit more space. And then the next part is pretty important. It's my Tombow I'm just going to say Fude pen in the hard tip. And after I've dulled it down, I'll just do one dot for bullets of notes. And then during the meeting, sometimes I found it very helpful, because I bought this Sarasa Mark-On set on Amazon, the one with the red and blue pen as well. I'm struggling to find the red one. Or you can use your Hobonichi 2024 pen, and because it has like the different options. And what I find really helpful is to create, like, use this basic stencil here, which fits perfectly for that purpose. But just to create like a checkbox of sorts on the side here. So for example, if I have a bullet here, and it is actually turns into an action item for someone on our team, or something I want to remember, I can highlight it in red or in blue, and then so this signals to me that I need to go back and make sure that I guess address that action and check it off. Okay, so that's enough with this section or setup here. So this is my work setup for 2024 that's been working really well for me. Like I said, if you have a suggestion for making or organizing and memorizing your calendar in a way that's maybe different than my Hobonichi weeks, definitely let me know down below. Okay, so the next thing I kind of want to glaze through, because I've done flip throughs of this, is my Hobonichi weeks for 2024, which is basically these weekly spreads here that I film a lot of plan with me's and flip throughs of, so I just wanted to share that with you. I've been using it to keep track of my appointments, which you can see here, just pairing it with some of my Coffee Monsters Co. monthly kits that I need to actually place a new order for here, and then just using whatever's left over here to mark those appointments, keep track of, for example, my husband actually went, thank you, he went to a farm on Saturday to pick up my blueberry bushes. We ordered 25 blueberry bushes and only 3 raspberry plants. Pretty excited about that. If you guys have any like suggestions for that about how to care for those, let me know. Okay, so anyways, that's what I have. I just journaled a little bit here about an antique shop that's closing. I actually journaled about that in here as well. So this is more of, it used to be to drive productivity, and I would have like a task list here where I can check things off as I go. Then it turned into a journaling spot like this. Then I started using this more consistently for journaling, and so then this became more of a way for me to, in a kind of nice aesthetic way, keep track of the major events in my week. So yeah, exactly as I mentioned, birthdays, all these, I guess, appointments that I've been setting up with contractors and things. So that's what I have here. I'm gonna set this aside, and then so that leaves me with these two. So I'm gonna start with the A6, the Hobonichi English A6 HON for 2024. And you can see here, as I mentioned, I've just been using it for all of the journaling, and it's really specific. Usually I try to make it very specific to the day. So I can pull an example more recently. So for example, we met with Jake on this day, which is one of the contractors that we were kind of feeling out and getting estimates from. And so I journaled a little about that there. Over here, I placed an order with Anthropology, and I actually think the order just arrived today. So anyways, we're doing a bathroom renovation in our farmhouse, a very humble, tiny farmhouse. And so I just listed, using that same stamp from Midori, just some of the items. Honestly, I couldn't fit all of it that I purchased from Anthropology for this renovation. So we have that here. And over here, this was the antique shop that I mentioned that was closing down. So I just journaled about what we purchased and how I'm really sad to see it go. But it doesn't really take that much space, I guess. And I got to play around with all my different stickers. I spoke about journaling a lot about donkeys lately. And so I have a donkey wish list, which includes a third donkey friend, which I think is so funny. Please don't tell my husband, he'll freak. And then, yeah, so I journaled a little bit about how I don't understand why miniature donkeys aren't more popular. They are so cute. They have such personalities. They're so intelligent. This is my first ever experience with any type of equine. Like, I've ridden horses through like those classes and things before, like not regular classes, but I went to I think my parents took me when I was very young to the Grand Canyon, and we took like a riding tour, and I was really surprised my mom remembered my favorite horse. I got because I was the youngest and the most fearful, I got the calmest horse, which is like great, and his name was Lightning Jack. He was this beautiful white horse, massive. And so anyways, I've been learning a lot about equines. I really wanted to be able to ride a horse, or like my own horse, on my property, but I didn't feel that I was ready for equines. So I thought that like something miniature that I can handle without my husband would be a great like intro to equines. And so far so good, knock on wood. And I've been learning a lot, learning about like their hooves and their, brushing them, caring for them, scooping their poo, like all the things, their vaccines, and just training equines, learning how to speak to them in a way that they understand, which is very different from the animals that I'm used to, which are dogs and cats. So that's been a lot of fun. And so I don't understand why miniature donkeys aren't more popular. So this was me just journaling very quickly about my plans for my planners in going forward in 2024. And one of those things is to cut out the excess, right? So just as every year previous, it's like I don't learn any prior. It's like I don't learn anything every year, but basically cutting the dead weight, right? And just realizing and acknowledging that I bought too many planners for the year, and then focusing on the ones that are most important to me. So that's what I have here. Similar to the Cousin, in a less private setting, because I've been journaling so much. Oh, their names are George and Amber, which I actually have just recently posted a short about that. So if you're interested in an intro to our little mini donkeys, there's a short on that. And so this, which is top of mind today, I put together a sketch of the little pen that we're hoping to build ourselves. We're learning that being self-sufficient is the way of life for a lot of farmers, and so learning how to do our own fencing is going to be a very important step for us, I think. And so we've been looking into how to put up no climb fencing for the equines, maybe doing 4-board, 3-board, because these guys are so tiny. Like, I had 2 heart attacks already. I think the first night we couldn't contain the donkeys within their internal like barn pen. I was afraid because they're minis and they're babies, and they just were separated from their larger herd, moved to an area that has a lot of potential predators that we're just not aware of. So we were trying to secure them for the night, and they escaped twice. Of course, they were still in a penned area in the barn, or right outside the barn. And then the next, like 5 days later, they broke through the fence and jumped the fence, like jumped the 4th board of our 4-board fence and got out, both of them. And so just learning so much. Anyways, so that's what I have here. So I'm going to set this aside, and we're going to quickly cover my personal everyday carry. And this is actually the cover of that beautiful pointer that I want to share with you. Okay, so this guy here is my Traveler's Notebook vertical planner for 2024. I bought this on Amazon and wanted to give it a shot. I will say this is one of my favorite planners. I am such a huge fan of Hobonichi, so it feels weird to say this, but I love this planner. So this is my personal everyday carry. The reason I flipped to this week is because it's the 1 week in the rest of this 6-month period, the first half of the year, that doesn't have anything written down yet, for personal reasons. And so I just wanted to share with you all kind of what I do, so and how I plan here. So typically, and you can kind of see it here, I reference the front where it has the birthdays, similar to Hobonichi that I used to do, where I just track in the 6-month look ahead the birthdays of my friends and family, and I translate that information here. I'll also keep track, so because I don't have a monthly, so in 23 I had the Midori monthly date book, which was really helpful. I think if I were to do like reflect and go into 25, I probably would get that and this, and or something else, but I'll explain that later. So the one con to this, or 2 cons, is that it doesn't have the monthly spread, and it also doesn't really have enough space for notes. So especially because of all the contractors that I've been meeting with, I've been having to take notes about their contact information, because gosh golly, I must be getting old, but I cannot for the life of me remember some of their names, and they're all like George, Jerry, Jake, and Joe. Like they're all the same, similar, not the same, but similar names. And so I've been getting all confused. So I'll write that down in bold lettering. Some of my favorite pens to do that and planning here would be the Sarasa Mark-On. It would be the Energel Klana, the Tombow Fude hard and soft tips. I try to keep it pretty simple so I could take this on the go. I throw this in my purse. This makes me smile so hard. These personal stickers that my friend Carly made for me. Anyways, and I also love to pair it with these stamps. So what I like to do is just switch this to the 4 checkbox. And one of the first things I like to do is to just go ahead here. And of course, this is in advance of the month, and remembering that I always hit it in the wrong spot. You just try to line it up. Hopefully that was on camera. Like, this is just too low, but whatever. I don't really care. Because this is my personal planner, it really doesn't like affect anything. So I have this here. It's a little crooked. It's driving me nuts. And then every day I will go ahead and try to line this up here as well. And just set check boxes across. And what this allows me to do is, of course, I'm not going to do it right now because I have no idea what I'm going to do on June 10th. But what it allows me to do is to take my Energel, which is like a smaller, thinner thing, and then I'll write laundry or grocery shopping and things like that that I can check off. The other thing I like to use this same stamp for, which hopefully you guys can find it, because if not, I feel really bad that I'm showing this, is I'll do it here in this horizontal orientation, and then this will be my tracker for water hydration, water intake. So just line it up, do my best to center it, and then just keep going down the line. So other than that, I think we're pretty much at 20 minutes out, so I will close it out here. I really appreciate you joining me today. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you have any suggestions, and if you have any questions. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye, friends.